Okay, welcome everyone to Mathematics Society Talks. Today, as part of our imaginary world theme of our talks, we have Laya Mathikshara with us. Laya is a 40 years old digital artist who works with computers, exploring various art forms, including generative art, AR art, and net art. So for that session, we do not have chat on. So if you want to chat or ask questions of as Leia speaking, or at the end, you're going to have to put your hand up. So Leia is going to be talking about her work, and then obviously there'll be Q&As at the end or during her talk. Welcome, Leia. Thank you so much for joining us today. And please take us through
Hi.
your amazing journey. Hi, Leia. Okay.
Hi.
So yes, please talk to us about your lovely art. Thank you.
I'm sharing.
Lovely. Thank you.
If it's visible. Could you have a look at it?
Yes, we can. Can you all
Mm-hmm.
say, if you can look at it, can you all put your hand up, please? Lovely. Thank you. Thank you so much. Great. Thank you. Okay, Leia, everyone can see it. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
so much.
Thank you. Hi everyone, I am Laya Mathikshara. I am a 14-year-old artist from India. Today I was hoping to talk a little bit about my past journey, and NFTs played a very big impact on my life as an artist. So I wanted to share various things about NFTs and how it could transform a digital artist into a mind-blowing person through the NFTs. So let's get started. So as I said, I am Laya. People call me Laya, and I'm a 14-year-old artist from South India. I live in a city in South India called Chennai. I am curious about the intersection of art and tech. Most of my artworks represent scientific concepts as an artwork. As I like exploring art and tech because I find both of them have infinity in them. Like art, you can create infinite number of artworks, which is quite interesting, and I find a lot of freedom in that. Right now I'm trying to explore different mediums of artworks, like generative art, AR art, and net art. And I'm trying to learn different artworks, and of course you're all the experts with art. I'm just a little beginner trying to explore different mediums. As a digital artist, I work with computers, and I've always been curious about brain functions of artists, like where creativity comes from, how we get ideas and stuff. So I've always been curious about the brain functions, and conscious about an artist. In the future, I'm looking forward to creating an art that is impactful to the scientific community. Right now, art is just a MP4 or a JPG that's exhibited in a wall, but I would like art to have some kind of an extra utility, third utility, that we can add to artwork, where art changes dynamically with time, or art is interactable, or art has some extra fun element. So that's what I'm hoping to do in the future. Today we'll be talking about my journey from how I started. I used to paint when I was young, and now I'm trying to explore artworks in blockchain. I'll be going through my short journey from brush to blockchain, and we'll be looking in the highlights about NFTs, the important things that happen to NFTs, and we'll discuss through some very frequently asked questions that I wanted myself when I started NFTs. I wanted to ask those questions to someone, and help me with those questions. So I'll be talking through those very basic questions that I wanted someone to explain me when I started, and we'll then see how we could get started with NFTs, and how you could all start NFTs and mint them. So I can pretty assure you all that at the end of the presentation, you might be able to, mint one NFT and, see how it goes. Yes, let's see a short story about my past me. I was born in 2007 um, in South India, in my city, Chennai. And I started painting when I was 15 years old. Sorry, 8 years old in 2015. I always enjoyed painting, mixing colors, and seeing how different shades come out and different paints come out. And I always enjoyed painting and seeing how colors could form a beautiful thing. And I always enjoyed the freedom that I had in art, and the beauty that art could create. In 2017, I exhibited some of my artworks in a gallery in my city when I was 10 years old. And I think that time around 30 people from my city came and visited, my friends and families. And it was quite interesting to see that only 30, 40 people were able to come and visit the gallery. I'll come back to this slide a little later, because this has something to do very special at the end. Because when we have a offline gallery, we might only get around 30, 40 folks to come and visit the gallery and have a look at it. But when it goes into a decentralized platform, we might get more visitors. So that's something that I wanted to talk about in the future slides. So I wanted to show a little bit about my past, where I had a small little gallery. In 2018, when I was 11 years old, I started exploring programming and electronics. When I started with tech, um, I started with HTML and CSS, where I designed websites and stuffs. And while I was doing that, I always enjoyed designing my website more than programming the website at the back. So I always enjoyed playing with art, even when I was exploring programming and technology. I felt that programming and technologies were a medium to enable art into a global platform. So I always enjoyed exploring with designs and web development and web designs when I started with programming as well. And here comes the pandemic 2020, which actually made a very, very huge impact on every single person's life, right? In the world, it reduced pollution, it reduced air pollution, it reduced global warming, it changed so many impossible things that we all thought. So this pandemic made a very, very huge impact on majority of our lives. In my life, it introduced me to a world of fantasy. So during the pandemic, I had a lot of time, so I wanted to explore a new hobby and try new things and in my free time. So I always enjoyed watching animated films like Frozen and Boss Baby, where those characters looked super cute and super beautiful. The way they brought the story together, the way they animated the characters was really interesting, and I really loved that. So I was curious how they animated the characters and brought them to life. So I wanted to try with 3D animation, and that's why I thought, why don't I explore 3D animation as a new hobby and see where it goes. And I started by watching Andrew Price's tutorial on YouTube, and I started with 3D animation. I think that's how most of us start with 3D animation and 3D graphics. And these are a couple of my first renders. The donut that I did by watching his tutorial, and this was a seismograph that I was inspired from, a seismograph from my physics textbook. In 2021, in this February, Clubhouse became quite popular. So I got curious and I wanted to join and see what it was and see why everyone is talking about Clubhouse. What's so special about it? So after a very, very long struggle for invites, I finally got one and I joined it. And I started listening to various rooms about digital art as I was quite curious about it, and as I was trying to experiment 3D animation. I wanted to join rooms and clubs about digital art and see what they were talking about. When I joined, I noticed an interesting pattern that every single room I joined, they used to talk about NFTs. They used to talk about something related to NFT. It could be crypto, it could be Ethereum, it could be it could be different marketplaces, it could be something or the other related to NFTs. And I had no idea what NFTs were the first time that I heard them, but I was curious to know what they were and why everyone was talking about it. So I joined more rooms and I started shooting them with questions. What are NFTs? Why is everyone talking about it? What's so special about it? And so many different questions that I started shooting to people. Any room I joined, I started listening and I wanted to know more about it. And after listening to Clubhouse for about a week, I was quite exhausted. So I was just sitting and I was thinking, what NFTs, what are NFTs, and why is everyone talking about it? I talked to many of them in Clubhouse, but I still, I was not really clear what NFTs were. I knew that NFTs were something special and had something in them, but I had no idea what they were exactly. So I always had this question in my mind: what are they? Why is everyone talking about it? So that day I was sitting and my sister was there. So I asked her if she has ever, heard about NFTs, if she has, if she knows anything about it. And she said, I've heard about it, but not really sure what it is. I've heard about it a couple of times. I've heard about it, many of them speaking about it, but I'm not sure with what it was. So that day, me and my sister, we started Googling about NFTs. We came to know so many interesting facts about NFTs that day. We came to know that NFTs actually help artists extremely. It reduces plagiarism and brings artists into a global platform where their art is safe, and so many different factors about NFTs that made me fascinated. So I got really excited. So after searching on the web, after watching a lot of YouTube videos to how to create a wallet and mint artwork, I think in February we didn't have much resource about NFTs, or we did not have any websites that had clear information about NFTs. So we had to search through them, watch a lot of videos, and understand what NFTs are. So once I got an idea about it, how to create set up a wallet and start minting the works, and get started with NFTs, I minted one of my work as an NFT that day. And after a month, the art was collected by an artist. It was collected for $1,000. Today, I think when it was collected, it was for $300. And today, Ethereum price has quite increased in $1,000. So that's how I entered the space. And when I entered, I when I entered, I knew that there was something special with NFTs, but I never knew that it could be collected for an extremely high price, and so many amazing things and miracles that happen in the NFT space. So I wanted to know more and more about it, and connect with different people in the space. So I constructed a small little virtual gallery in the metaverse, where I invited around 30 artists from around the world, from different countries, and exhibited their artworks there. And when I exhibited, I wanted to connect with the artists and know more about them. But the interesting fact was, I just did not know more about each artist, but I also came to know about something super interesting, that the gallery was open for around 2 weeks. The gallery was actually on a particular website, which where it's a virtual gallery. So when that happened, I came to know that around thousands of people visited the gallery in about 2 to 3 weeks, and that was really interesting, because I had a same gallery around a couple of years back in my city, and around only 30 people, 40 people came and visited the gallery. But when I had it virtually, I got around thousands of visitors to the gallery, which was really interesting. And I came to know the power of decentralization. I came to understand, why that's so important, right? Why that's so important, and why everyone is really excited about NFTs, because now my art could reach thousands of people. At the same time, my art is safe, and anyone cannot plagiarize my art, or anything cannot happen to my art. At the same time, it can reach a very wider audience, which was amazing, which is the dream of every single artist, right? So that made me understand NFTs better, and that gave me so much, confidence and happiness as an artist. That was my short journey that I started, that I used to paint, and then I got curious about NFTs, and I got started with them, and here I am today. So that's a very short brief about my journey. I wanted to do a short highlight about NFTs, what NFTs were, and what are the special things that happened in the NFT space. In the NFT space, you might have heard so many different interesting things that happened. You might have heard the Beeple's art that was sold for $69 million. That's how everyone might have been introduced. Most of them might have been introduced to the term NFT, and that's how I was introduced to it as well. And the founder of Twitter sold his tweets for $3 million as an NFT, and Paris Hilton was sold her artwork for $1 million as an NFT. And there are so many other interesting things that happen here. There is a young artist called Fiocious. Fiocious sells the artworks for millions of dollars, and there are so many people from so many different countries, from different age, from different mediums. Like, it could be physical paintings, it could be digital artworks. One of my project, Merkel, on it was a generative artwork, which that collection was sold for $1 million. So there are so many different highlights that take place in NFTs every single day, that are just super interesting and makes you super motivated. You can certainly go search about that more. That will make you more motivated to learn more about NFTs. Let's discuss some very common questions everyone might have, like what I had when I started NFTs and started searching about them. I'll just go a very quick brief about them. So NFTs, what are they? How would you describe NFTs? So let's say there's a picture of Mona Lisa, and we all know that Mona Lisa belongs to Leonardo da Vinci. But I'm Laya, and I do a painting, and no one knows that I did that painting or I did that digital art, right? No one knows that that particular art belongs to me. So there is this problem of this authentication when it comes to digital art, especially where people don't know this art belongs to whom. So to solve that problem, NFTs came. So what NFT does is NFT basically creates a little token that says that this art belongs to this person. It's like a patent right, that this innovation belongs to this person. This person was the one who invented this idea or scientific concept. So same way for art, we have this little proof, or we have this little token saying that this painting belongs to this person, or this digital art belongs to this person. So that little token is nothing but non-fungible token, NFTs, which say that thing belongs to this person. That's a very, very simple understanding of NFTs. NFTs are nothing complicated. NFTs are just a little proof for to tell that this artwork belongs to this particular person. Since this particular art has an authentication, people tend to sell NFTs for a higher price, as we know that we know the creator of a particular art. So that's a very that's what NFTs are really. And people tend to ask questions. Okay, so I have an artwork, but where do I go, sell that artwork? Where do I mint that as an NFT, right? So there are a couple of marketplaces that we can try to mint artworks on. Let's say you have a digital art and you would like to mint it on a particular, on a marketplace and see how it takes and how it goes. Marketplace is nothing but a website where you can, turn your art into an NFT. So a very, very famous website that people use, especially beginners use, is called OpenSea. Um, OpenSea lets you to mint artworks. You need not have any, invite or or any. You need not apply or do any kind of thing in order to mint your artworks on OpenSea. You can just go ahead and mint. You can click on create and click on the wallet, and then you will have to connect your wallet, and then you can go ahead and mint your artwork. So this is a very, very famous marketplace that most of them use. These are some of my artworks that have done so far. And there's another marketplace that is called Variable that is also open for anyone, and anyone could go ahead and mint. These two are very, very easy marketplaces. The thing with OpenSea is you need not pay much gas fee. You need not pay money in order to mint your artwork into the website. But on Variable, you will have to pay some amount in order to turn your artworks into NFTs. When it comes to exclusive marketplaces, there are some marketplaces where you will have to apply or get an invite in order to post your artworks on that website. So this is called Foundation. This is my Foundation page where I mint my works here. In order for you to mint, you will need a little invite that that enables you to mint your artworks here. An interesting thing about Foundation is the collector just cannot buy your art, but they can actually place a bid and have this auction based system where I listed this for 0.4 Ethereum, but then another person placed a bid, and then another person and another person. So you have this auction based system on this marketplace, which is something that interests most of them. And these are some of my artworks that I did so far. This is a 3D artwork. It's AR art where you can interact it with your mouse and try to play around with the artwork. This marketplace lets you mint 3D artworks. It lets you mint videos. It lets you mint photos. And here's the auction that took place. So the best part about Foundation is that you have this auction thing, which is fun to know what is the price that the world gives for your artwork. So see auctions, it might be really interesting. This is how auction takes place, and if you can click on the work and then play the videos and see how the video works. You can in order to mint on the website, you will have to have an invite and you'll have to pay some amount in order to mint every single art. And then you have this thing called collection where you can mint bunch of artworks with the same theme. I minted 24 artworks where all the 24 artworks represent the concept of 5D. All of them represent how the 5D takes place in physics, right? It represents that in the artwork. So you can mint a bunch of artworks with the same theme, and that is called a collection. And you can create single artworks as well, like this. And then there is Super Red, Makers Place, and then Nifty Gateway. And these three marketplaces, you might need to apply in order to onboard on the marketplace. And there are some dynamic marketplaces as well, dynamic and generative art marketplaces. So in these marketplaces, you can actually play around with art, not only mint artwork as a video or as a GLB. You can get art to another extent. 1 second, I think it's taking some time. So here you can mint dynamic art, which enables you to where the art changes with time. So let's say you post a little plant, and what happens is when you post a little plant, with the time the plant grows. So today it will be a plant on the website. After 10 days, it will there'll be a little flower on the plant. After you know um, after 2 months, the plant will grow into a huge uh, tree or something of that sort, where you can enable your art to move or change with time, which is called dynamic artwork. So where this art changes with the poll, with a Twitter poll that I created, where which the Twitter poll was created for social emotion, to see how people are happy or sad. So this art changes different colors. If people are happy, it changes into a particular color, and if people are sad, it changes into another color. There are some other artworks that you can explore as well. Down here, there are some works that you can explore where it changes with time, which changes with Bitcoin value, as if the Bitcoin.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Yep.
There is a blank screen, so I think we have lost the screen view. I'm not sure if we can. Do you want to come out? Does anyone? Can everyone see? Or brilliant. Okay. Shall we go back in?
Stop?
It stopped from when you went. It stopped from when you went out from the foundation site, and you went to try. Yeah. So let's try that again. Thank you.
No worries.
Thank you.
Can you see it now?
Yes, we can see it now. Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
Yes, that's it.
So,
excellent.
I was explaining about this marketplace, where this marketplace enables you to change your artwork dynamically with time, or with Bitcoin value, or with anything, any graph that you can have, where the art changes dynamically according to the particular data. This was one of my work where it changed automatically with people's emotion. I had I posted one of my. Can you have a look at it?
Yes, we can.
I posted one of my tweets where that tweet was actually a poll. You can have a look at that tweet. I don't think it's there, but yes, there was a tweet where that tweet actually changed along with with people's emotion, where people can go ahead and poll and see, and if many of them voted for happy, then the artwork changes into a happily colored one, and if most of them votes for a sad, then the artwork changes to a sadly colored red one. So that's how this marketplace enables you to make your art change dynamically with any data set. So yep, these are some of the sorry. These are some of the different marketplaces for different necessities. So if you want to go with less gas fee, and if you want to go with if you want to just go ahead and mint without without applying or without having an invite, then you can for beginners, usually people go with OpenSea or Rarible. If you want to go into an exclusive marketplace and sell your art at a very high price, then you might want to go into these marketplaces. And if you want to go with dynamic art, then you can get started with Async, Art Block, or Gen.art. And what process / steps do you take from beginning to end to produce a project? Sorry, a project until you mint or you drop. I usually find inspiration from little things around me, from my school, textbook, from the way people talk, the way people arrange themselves, the way every little things around me is placed. I usually try to take inspiration from them, and I draw that into a little book where I try to bring that into an artwork, a very rough illustration, and then I take that illustration into computer and I try to work with the software and try to see where the computer takes me to, where I make sure I have the idea, the inspiration that I had, and I try to convert that into an interesting representation that we can do with shapes. And once I have an art ready, I try to render the art. And once I render it, and I go to a particular marketplace that I want to mint my artwork on, and then I pay some gas fee, and then I mint that artwork on that marketplace. Once I'm done with minting, I go ahead and tweet, because I find it comfortable with tweeting once I drop an artwork on a particular marketplace, because in the NFT space, Twitter is pretty much everything where people interact, where people talk with each other and learn about new things. So I go ahead and tweet. So that's my that's how I do. I get inspiration, I draw a rough illustration, and then I implement it on a software, and then I mint it on a website, and then I tweet about it. So mint and dropped means mint is quite a technical name. Dropped is dropped is a very fancy name that we all use in the NFT community. Minted means changing an art into an NFT. The transformation of an art into an NFT is called minted, and minting process is done through the blockchain, because you're changing an art into an NFT on the blockchain. So that's what minted means, to convert art into NFT. And dropped is just a very fancy name that we say that I dropped an artwork today, that I dropped an artwork on this marketplace, like how we all say that I posted and that I posted an image on Instagram, that I posted a video on YouTube. People use dropped to say that I dropped an art here or there. With the artworks that I create, I hope to change art. So right now, art is just an image or MP4, but I would like to add a extra utility to art, instead of art just being a simple thing that doesn't have a much of an extra utility right now. I would like to add a extra utility to art, where the art has some kind of a third element, where it's either dynamic, or it's either interactable, or it's either helpful to a community of people, or I would like to add some kind of an interesting third element that changes art from just an piece of thing that's exhibited in an exhibition into something little bit more crazy and interesting. And the second thing that I would like to do is I would like to motivate other digital artists, and especially young people. Usually young people are not suggested to take art as a career, because it doesn't really have a standard income, or people usually go with medicine or law. So I would like to encourage more people to take art as a career, and perceive it as a career, because right now, after NFTs especially, art has a very big value. People from different industries are trying to experiment with art because of NFTs. So I would like to do these two things. Add a third element to art, and I would like to inspire other young artists to pursue art as a career. I get updated with the evolving technology by talking, with different people in the community, by engaging with them, by trying to be active in the community. That's the very important part, especially in NFTs. You have to be very, very active. It could be by tweeting, it could be by talking on Clubhouse or Twitter Spaces, but you have to be very, very, very active. So when I'm active, I tend to speak to different people. I tend to discuss with different people different things. So that's when I come to know about different marketplaces or different things that are happening in the NFT space. So I find the curiosity that you have, and keeping yourselves active and trying to engage with different events and take part in them might help you keep yourself evolving with the technology, so that you are like interacting with everyone in the community. Interpretation for success would be when my art reaches reaches many people, when my art reaches a wider audience. I i interpret that as a success. When I inspire other people, when I inspire other digital artists or the young people, I find that as a success. um, yeah, I think those two things that I always find as a success. I usually schedule my day very roughly the day before the day. When I go to bed, I write the important things that I have to do the next day, and I make sure when I wake up the next day, I'll be having school till around 1 p.m. So after that, I make sure I try to complete all the things that I planned the previous day. I try to spend time for my homework a little bit, and then I spend time to complete the works. It could be finding inspiration for art, or it could be experimenting with the different mediums of digital art, or it could be minting an art, or it could be anything. But I usually schedule it a day before, and then I try to make sure somehow I complete the work the next day. So I would say generative art is, when I started with generative art, I thought it was something super big and super complicated, something super confusing, that you have to know programming and so many different complicated things in order to do it. But generative art is nothing super complicated. It's just producing art with programming. We have sine, cos waves that are there, which is math, right? So representing this simple mathematical equation as an artwork is generative art. So with your hand, you might not be able to draw a perfect sine cos wave, but with programming, you might be able to draw a perfect sine or a cos wave. So programming or generative art enables you to represent mathematical equations into a beautiful art form. That's how I understand them. And the best programming language that the way that you can learn them is by YouTube, because I think that's how I learned everything. It could be from 3D animation, it could be painting, it could be any skill or anything that I learn. I go to YouTube, because you find a lot of tutorials and videos. I use Python and P5.js to create my generative artworks. There are a lot of P5.js tutorials online on YouTube that you can watch, where the YouTubers itself give a lot of resources for equations or for programs, or examples of programs that you find or anything. YouTube, I always find YouTube is the best resource, because they filter out all the good ones have it in YouTube. So I usually find inspiration from my art, as I said, from the things around me, and I do a rough sketch of it, and I don't do a complete rough sketch of it on a particular paper or something. I just do a very, very rough sketch of it, very rough sketch, so that I leave it to the program, I leave it to the computer to see where it takes me to see where the programming and the math takes my art to. So that's how I usually do. So I just show about how we can get started with NFTs. I think that's the best part. That's the interesting part about NFT. So first thing that you might want to do is to set up a wallet. To set up our Ethereum wallet, there are so many different wallets that are present, like Coinbase, I think, and there are different wallets, but MetaMask is the most popular one, where you can download MetaMask onto your phones, onto your computers, onto different devices. And here is the link where you can download the wallet. You can maybe you can take a screenshot of it, or maybe you can scan the QR code. That might help you redirect to the website, and you can download it from there. The second thing that you might want to do is to purchase some amount of Ethereum. To purchase Ethereum, so people ask this question: why should I purchase Ethereum in order to mint an artwork? Every time you transfer your artwork as an NFT, you have to pay some amount of fee to the particular marketplace. That is called gas fee. And in order to pay that gas fee, you will need to have some Ethereum in your wallet so that you can pay that through Ethereum. So it usually takes around approximately $80 to $200 every single time you transfer your art into an NFT. So you can use this link in order to buy Ethereum with fiat. You can scan your QR code and use it if that might be useful. The third thing is you have to connect your wallet to a particular marketplace. Let's say you're on Foundation. I can quickly show that to you as well. So let's say you're on Foundation here. You'll have to connect your wallet. Go here and click it, and then you'll have to click MetaMask. And once you click MetaMask, it will redirect you to a particular place, and you will have to press connect, and then it will get connected. And then once it's connected, you can start putting your artworks as NFTs there, and that will just guide you to do what the websites, most of the time, the marketplace, the websites itself will guide you how to take an artwork and mint that as an NFT. You can get started with OpenSea or Rarible because they are very, 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 very easy for beginners to get started with. And yeah, that's it. You can go ahead and mint them as an NFT. So this link
sorry.
is,
The screen went blank again. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Sorry. Maybe we can come out and connect it back in. That's it. Lovely. Thank you.
Can you see?
Okay, we're still waiting a little. Yes, perfect. Lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You can use this link for a complete guide with NFTs. This link enables you to, this link tells you what NFTs are, the importance about NFTs and how you can transform an art into an NFT, all the way from beginning to setting up your wallet, to buying Ethereum, to connecting it on a marketplace. It's like a complete guide. It's very, very useful. You can take a screenshot of it, or I can send the link on chat if that's helpful.
Perfect.
I'm sorry, I think my screen is sharing better. So this is the best website, most of them uses usually. And yeah, that's it. Thank you all for listening to me talk. And I really hope that everyone, every single digital artist or every single artist gets into the NFT space and get their art globally into the world and have a chance to experiment with NFTs. So you can always contact me to my Instagram or my Twitter, or if you would like to, go with email, you can go with it. And this is my website, and you can scan the QR code to have a look at my link tree. I could share that as well in the chat. My link tree has all the links to all social medias and websites. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Laya. Okay, we're open now for questions. Anyone who wants to ask any questions to Laya, you can put your hand up and then turn your mic on, and then you can actually chat. Any questions? Okay, I have a question, Laya. Where do you see yourself in 10 years' time, and what do you hope to be doing?
I hope to, as I said, I hope to had a third utility to art. I would like to transform art into something interesting, from not only being a little image. I would like it to be dynamic, that that's interactable, where you can play with your artwork, or that changes with time, or is helpful to curing cancer or something interesting like that, or artwork that enables you to do something in the metaverse, or something interesting like that where art has some kind of an interesting element in it. That's something that I would love to do in the future. That's something that I'm hoping to do in the future.
Fantastic. Excellent. Thank you. Karen.
Hi.
Hi, Karen.
Hi. Hello. So I just want to
Hi.
say that the presentation was awesome, really informative.
Thank you so much.
And yeah, really interesting as well. I've got a couple of questions. The first one is, who are your influences? What artists influence you in your work? And the second one was, so what did it feel when you placed your first NFT up? Because what I didn't realize until now was probably it costs money to do that, so it's quite a bit of a risk. I didn't know if you were confident or if you kind of were a bit worried. How did that feel?
For the first question, I I try to represent my artwork on my own. I try to take inspirations from online and inspiration from the things around me, but I try to make sure that I try to do different style for every single art that I do, that you can observe in my artwork. Every single artwork has a completely different style. So I usually get those ideas from online, or the things that I see around me. I get inspiration from different artists for every single artwork. I try to take every single little details from different artists, and try to incorporate it in mine and see how it looks, and try to take ideas from things around me and try to incorporate that. For the second question, yes, it is quite it is quite scary when you start with NFTs. The first time I minted my NFT, I waited a long time to see for my gas fee to go down. It is quite scary, when it comes to gas fee, and minting. Every single time you have to mint, you will have to pay some amount, and that's quite scary. Yes, but if you ignore that, and if you just go ahead and mint it, I think there'll be something super exciting and super interesting that will be waiting for you in the future. Because the first time I minted, I was very scared. I was scared that if I might lose a gas fee, and this art might not reach an audience or something. But it will, some or the other. It might not reach today or tomorrow, but in a month or 2 months, it will certainly reach an person, and something will happen crazy. So I think we should just, we should just not be scared for minting the first work. You can mint it on OpenSea. I think they don't take much gas fee. It's quite less. For the third art that you mint on OpenSea, they don't take any gas fee. Like literally, it's $0 to mint an artwork there. So you can go ahead and try exploring with that. And I can assure you there'll be something interesting that'll be waiting for you in the future if you just forget and go ahead and mint and see where it goes.
Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Juan.
Hello, Laya. Hi. Yes. First,
Hi.
hello. I would like to thank you for taking us in this little journey of discovery. I have heard about the NFTs, but to be honest, I was quite unaware. I mean, I found myself actually Googling metaverse as you were talking, and it was very interesting. And I would like to ask you, what of the pieces that you have shown, or if you could actually show us, what's the piece that you consider the most successful, or the one that you're most proud of, if that's possible?
You mean the one that I sold for an extreme price?
Yeah.
Or the one, my favorite one?
Or well, either or.
Okay.
Either or, I think because
yes.
sometimes the one you want the price may not be the one you feel more proud of, the one you like the best.
Yes.
So.
I always love every artwork that I do. I can show some of my ones if you're interested. I could share my you can go ahead to have a look at all of my artworks through my link tree all the time, but I can share some of my highly sold artworks if you would like to. Yes,
that would be lovely.
So this is my foundation, and this work, all the three of them, was sold for 4 Ethereum, which is approximately $18,000 today. Which these artworks were, generated with Python. I used Python to generate the artworks, and this was one of my one-on-ones that was, sold for an extreme price. This artwork that I showed, this one was sold for a long bid, so there was around 10 bids or something that was there, and it was a fun one to see the bids jump up and down and up and down. And that was really interesting. That's my favorite thing about this particular piece. And one of my project, I could show that. This is my website, and Merkel was one of my generative art collection, where the artworks were the complete series of artworks were sold for $1 million.
Sorry, Laya. The screen.
Sorry, Laya. The screen is black again. Sorry. Sorry.
No worries. Can you have a look at it now?
I'm still not seeing it. I don't know. Anyone sees it?
No, not at the moment.
No.
No, not at the moment. Try again, Laya.
Yep, trying it again.
I don't know what's going on. The system is collapsing. Oh, yes. Something is coming. Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
These are the ones. 1 second. I think it's taking some time to load.
Yes. No problem.
Sorry for that. I think my internet is not
that's
really
absolutely
good.
fine. Don't worry, we have the same problem.
Yeah, these are my
Okay.
works.
Yeah.
This was a generative art collection. I think these are the works that came on the poster as well. These artworks, which was around 3,000 artworks, that one single code created 3,000 artworks, where the entire collection was sold for $1 million as far as now. These are some of the works that was generated.
Fantastic. Are these
You
generated
can
with
have a
Python?
look at this. No, they are generated with P5JS.
Okay.
P5JS. I can show that to you. P5JS. This one. Official website of P5JS.
How when you started learning Python, for example, how difficult did you find it? I mean, or how easy did you find it? What resources did you use, if you don't mind me asking?
Yes, I started Python when I was quite young. I started when I was 11 with Python. I learned Python little by little by little. My sister helped me with learning Python whenever I get stuck. I usually watch YouTube videos for learning Python. But for P5JS, for this collection especially, I learned it from YouTube. I learned by watching different tutorials. There are so many ones that you can on YouTube that you find for P5JS to start from very beginning to very professional videos as well that are there. So that's how I learned. There isn't any particular resource that you might find. There are a couple of very famous YouTubers for P5JS, but yeah, I think that's it. I just watched YouTube to learn them.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, you can have a look at all of my artworks on my website or on my Instagram or on my Twitter or anywhere on my Linktree. Basically, it's on my Linktree. All of my artworks are there, so you can certainly have a look at them anytime.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Laya.
That's okay.
Okay, any other questions? Okay. Mariana.
So I was wondering, what advice you would give to someone that's just starting. I mean, you've been in it for a few years, but if you can remember how you started.
Yeah, of course. I'm actually not an expert with the NFT community or with the NFT space itself. Most of them, actually 99% of the people who came into NFTs were this February, who got into NFTs. So I'm in the space for only like 7 months, and most of them are there only for like 3 to 4 months. They're like rocking in the space. So you may not really worry about experience with NFTs or anything, because everyone is complete beginner with NFTs, and new things just pop up every single day. So you need not worry about that at all. The advice that I might give is not to hesitate, not to be scared of anything, but just to go ahead and the websites that I gave, or you can watch YouTube videos or anything of that sort, and just go ahead and mint one of your artwork as an NFT, and then tweet about it, post about it, and talk about it a little bit here and there, and someday or the other something fantastic, something magical will happen. And once that magical thing happens, you get your own interest toward NFTs, and believe towards NFTs, because I didn't believe NFTs until my first work got collected. When it got collected, everyone, my mom, dad, everyone were we were all super excited. So just not hesitate, and just go ahead and mint one of your paintings or your digital art as an NFT, and see where it takes you to, because hesitation is the very common thing that people are scared about NFTs. So just don't do that, and go ahead and do it, and I think it'll take you to a very beautiful place.
Cheers, thank you very much, and thanks for the lecture. It's pretty good.
Thank you.
Excellent. Any other questions? Leia, I had so many questions, but you have absolutely covered every single one of them. So it's like I'm going to be repeating if I'm kind of like be asking again and again. Your presentation was so thorough and you covered so much stuff. Anyone else that has any questions? That's wonderful. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you very much. It was absolutely
Thank you very
fantastic
much.
to have you with us. And yeah.
Yes, if you have anyone who has any questions or any suggestions or anything about my art or about me or about anything, you can feel free to message me on Twitter or Instagram or via email or through my link tree. You can access all my artworks and feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'm always available. I usually reply back to folks very immediately. I love to motivate others. So if there's any kind of help that you might want from me, like any tips or any suggestions that you want to give me or anything, I am completely open to everything. So feel free to message me, DM me on any social media. It was a pleasure coming today and talking. It was very lovely talking with you all and connecting with you all. Thank you so much, Angela. It was
Thank you.
a lovely
Thank you, Leia.
session. I
Thank
enjoyed
you.
it
Thank you.
really. Yes.
It was really
Thank you
lovely
so
to have
much.
you. Thank you so much too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.